Hello everybody and welcome back to Unravelling Autism. I'd like to begin by wishing all of you a wonderful new year, and I hope that 2023 will be a safe and successful one for you and your families. Today I will be looking at a very important topic, and that is why kids with autism need to exercise. And I do believe that this is a topic that is often underestimated within the autism community. You would have probably figured out by now that I like to get down to the basics of any topic, and so for me it begins with an understanding of what exercise is. So exercise is any type of movement or physical activity that gets your body moving and it gets your heart, lungs and muscles working. Exercise will tend to strengthen the body and the organs of the body, in particular your heart and lungs. Exercise tends to focus on four aspects or elements of fitness, and I will go through them now. The first is cardiovascular strength, which strengthens the heart, the lungs, and the circulation to all parts of the body. Then balance and coordination, as well as flexibility. And lastly, muscular strength and endurance. So weight training and full body movements such as squats, lunges, and push-ups all help to build muscular strength and endurance. Disciplines such as yoga would incorporate elements of strength, balance, and coordination, as well as flexibility. So in real terms, we have many exercises and forms of sport that will positively impact all aspects of fitness. So there are a wide variety of exercises, and all of these are beneficial for physical and mental well-being. I'm going to mention some of them now. Firstly, walking or jogging, then dancing, swimming, biking, uses of exercise equipment such as treadmills and stationary bikes, the climbing of stairs or hills, hiking, playing tennis or basketball or golf or squash, or in fact any sport. Playing a sport regularly is a fun and enjoyable way to exercise and to maintain all aspects of general fitness. Then yoga, tai chi, martial arts, jumping on a trampoline, and strength training, for example weight-bearing exercises or full body movements such as squats, lunges and push-ups. Then we also need to remember that certain work or chores can be considered exercise. For instance, yard work such as mowing or raking, as well as housework such as sweeping, mopping, and general cleaning. Let's look at some of the benefits of exercise, and here I'm looking at the benefits for all people, including children with autism. Exercise helps to control weight and to prevent obesity. It reduces your risk of heart disease. It helps your body to manage blood sugar and insulin levels, and this is very crucial in the modern world where we have a rise in diabetes in all populations, and it is also affecting children with autism. Exercise generally also improves your mental health and your mood, so it is crucial not just for physical health but also for your mental health. As you age, exercise keeps your thinking, your learning and your judgment skills sharp. It strengthens your bones and your muscles. It reduces your risk of cancer, certain cancers. It improves your sleep. It increases your chances of living longer. It improves both gross and fine motor skills, as well as balance, coordination, flexibility. And physical activity causes the body to release chemicals known as endorphins, which promote a feeling of positive well-being, and it can also increase your overall happiness and your self-esteem. Now let's look at some of the known benefits of exercise for children with autism. Firstly, they are less likely to be overweight or obese if they are exercising regularly, and they will tend to enjoy better sleep. They will have fewer symptoms of anxiety or depression, and their motor skills, both fine motor and gross motor skills, will tend to improve. Exercise reduces repetitive movements or stims, which we find in autistic children, such as rocking and hand flapping. And I'm not, against stimming, as I do know that it is a way to self-regulate and to stay calm. But the reality is also that a lot of stimming will impair a child's ability to participate in daily activities. And so exercise in reducing stimming will allow autistic children to participate to a greater extent in their daily activities. Exercise also tends to reduce aggression and behavioral problems. Sport in particular is a way of learning about life, about improving self-esteem, creating self-awareness, learning social skills, making friends, and all of this is important for a child living with autism. In fact, a sport or a structured exercise routine provides many opportunities for practicing language and social skills and for engaging in actions that reduce repetitive behaviors. So you can see that when we look at all of this, exercise in many ways is helpful in addressing some of the most important aspects of autism. Studies done on children with autism indicate that long-term exercise is linked to an improvement in behavior and also a decrease in autism-related symptoms, as well as a significant increase in quality of life. Exercise is generally not expensive. It can be done anywhere and it can be managed by parents at very little or no cost. If a sport is involved, there may be additional cost, but exercise in general, such as walking, strength training, balance, flexibility exercises, all of these can be done at no cost. So when we look at the autism community, I feel that there is a lack of emphasis on the importance of exercise as a way of helping children with autism. And this is partly a reflection of the way the subject is handled generally within all communities. And many people, and this includes parents of children with autism, are not aware of or do not fully understand the importance of exercise and how vital it is and how it can significantly impact a person's quality of life. Exercise is often overlooked within the autism community because it is not seen as a quick fix or a magic pill that will cure autism, make it go away. And as I've mentioned in previous videos, autism is not a disease and therefore does not require a cure. Parents are strongly focused on other things which take priority in relation to an autistic child, and they focus on therapies such as speech therapy, behavioral interventions, and getting their child to focus and stay on task in school settings. They want to address the important aspects of their child's disability, and most importantly, they want to sort out the language and the social impairment, or at least alleviate it somewhat. Therapies can incorporate some physical activity. For the most part, however, they are done indoors and in a sedentary way, and with all this focus on therapy, exercise tends to be neglected or forgotten. And though the focus on therapy is not wrong, I'm not saying it's wrong, but when we do this, we tend to forget that physical and mental health and well-being is the most important prize for every human being, and that includes our children with autism. We fail to see just how important exercise is in being able to create purpose and enjoyment and mental and physical well-being in the lives of our children. And there is also a reliance on medications, and all medications, of course, have their side effects. And I'm not saying that medication must be avoided. However, the use of medication does not alleviate the responsibility to include actions in daily life that will facilitate the overall health and well-being of our children. And the most important of these being regular exercise and good nutrition. A study that was done showed that 31.8% of adolescents with autism were found to be obese. Many children with autism have selective eating preferences such as reliance on high-calorie foods such as food containing sugar and starches. Then some medications taken may increase appetite, and this will consequently lead to weight gain. Children with autism have impairments in language and social skills, as well as rigid and repetitive behaviors, and all these aspects of the disability may also tend to negatively impact attempts to play a sport or to engage in a structured exercise routine. Children with autism may themselves refuse to exercise or engage in a sport, or to exercise as they don't understand the purpose behind the exercise. They may not understand or care about how it impacts their health and their future. Some children with autism have limitations in respect of motor skills, strength and balance, and these deficiencies tend to create barriers to being able to learn to exercise and to develop a habit of daily exercise. Also due to social impairments, children with autism may spend less time outside of the home, and this may in turn lead to a sedentary lifestyle. Let's look at some tips and tricks for getting your child to exercise or to play a sport. Getting your child to exercise begins with a commitment from you as a parent. You will need to be a role model yourself, which means that you will need to be physically active on a regular basis, at least 3 to 5 times a week. You will need to commit also to helping your child to get into the habit of daily exercise or to playing a sport at least once a week. You will have to recognize that exercise and or sport is not a pursuit to be taken up and then just abandoned at will. It is a commitment that must form part of your life as well as your child's life, and it must be taken by your child into adulthood. Children with autism cope best with a structured routine, so it makes sense to include exercise as part of your child's daily routine. Have a visual routine posted in your home which indicates all your child's activities for the day, including the exercise that he will do in that day. Start off small by teaching a particular exercise using appropriate visuals or even a YouTube video, and do not expect your child to do it for a long time when he is starting. So for example, you can start at 5 or 10 minutes of continuous activity for 1 or 2 days a week, then increase the duration of activity to 10 to 30 minutes for 3 to 4 times a week. And then over time, and depending on how things are going, you can then increase it to 15 to 60 minutes for 5 to 7 days a week. Remember that it is advisable to have a rest period of at least 48 hours between strength training sessions. You will need to demonstrate or teach the exercise in steps and then repeat it regularly until your child masters the activity or movement. Remember that a child with autism will not perform the activity 100% correctly. But what is important is that he does learn the movement and that he does it regularly. A child with autism will exercise in the way that he is able to, subject to his limitations, and this, in my opinion, is good enough. If you wish, you can start off by rewarding your child for exercising daily, for example, by allowing him exclusive access to a particular toy or video game as a reward for learning and doing the exercise. Remember also to give lots of social praise, such as a hug or a high five. Then if you look at this picture I've got here on the screen, there's a daily schedule which includes things like breakfast, brushing of teeth, homework and so on. So within that visual routine you would include a place for exercise, and you would have a picture for the exercise and you would say what it is. And then when you teach the exercise, you could have a visual such as what I have here, which shows a jumping jack, and you would use the visual to teach the activity, and you would also physically demonstrate it yourself. Because exercise is a dynamic activity, it would also help for you to use maybe a good YouTube video where the exercise is properly demonstrated, and for your child to be able to watch and imitate. You could also break down exercise into smaller chunks throughout the day, which will also help to keep your child moving and to avoid sedentary behavior. For example, you could do a stretching routine in the morning, a walk after lunch, and some basketball in the early evening. Before embarking on an exercise plan for your child, consider what she enjoys and try to devise a program that aligns to your child's interests. For example, a child who loves being in water may enjoy swimming, whereas a child who likes to dance may enjoy a fitness class or a YouTube video that involves dancing. Do not start with difficult exercises. Think about what your child is able to manage. Start off slowly and patiently and help your child to build skills and fitness over time. This is a long-term commitment. If you want to join any class or engage a trainer to teach a sport or to manage an exercise program, ensure that the setting is autism friendly and that the trainer or facilitator is willing to learn and to adjust to your child's needs and abilities. If possible, the person could have experience teaching an autistic child, but this may be hard to find. You can also speak to your child's therapist about incorporating physical activity into the program so that your child is taught certain exercises or movements by his therapist. Remember to get your child to drink more water when he is exercising. Pay attention to safety and the risk of injury. Consider what your child needs to do to stay safe in relation to that particular exercise. So if your child is exercising by taking a walk with you on the road, you must know where to walk, how to cross, and how to be on the lookout for cars and other road users. And this in itself is a range of other aspects that needs to be specifically taught to your child. Technology can be very helpful in building regular fitness habits. Instructional videos, which you can find on YouTube, as well as fitness apps and exergaming video games such as Nintendo Wii, are all visual and therefore more user-friendly to children with autism. These videos and exercise apps can be comfortably used in a home setting and also help to build independence when it comes to exercise. However, you will need to generally supervise the use of these apps and videos to ensure that your child is using them correctly and benefiting from their use. Walking is an excellent exercise that does not require any equipment and it can fit easily into the daily routines of children. Walking can be done in the garden, on the road, or even indoors. And if you can afford it, of course, there is also the option of a treadmill. Full body exercises are challenging and a fun way for children to stay fit and also help to improve body awareness and coordination. Examples of full body exercises are jumping jacks, bear crawls, and inchworm exercises. Ball exercises are another great option. Examples are throwing, kicking, bouncing, racket play, and also fun activities such as basketball if you are willing to install a basketball hoop somewhere in your garden. Relaxing exercises that improve strength, balance, and flexibility are also important for children with autism. Yoga and Tai Chi are good options, and there are many apps and videos available that are tailored to the needs of children with autism. Many children with autism love water as it fulfills many of their sensory needs, so swimming or aqua aerobics are good options for them. Swimming is an excellent way to build strength and endurance. Horse riding has become a popular option for children with autism, and it is said that therapeutic horse riding is beneficial for them on multiple levels. Horses are known to prefer the same routine, the same stall, the same path and route, and this is in many ways similar to the behaviors of children with autism. This is a comment made by Eugene Arnold. And he also went on to say that the horse's movement, the rhythmic movement, also has a calming effect on the brain. Enlist friends and family members to become involved with your child's physical routine. Exercise is not something that needs to be left entirely to the primary caregiver. Different family members can undertake different sports or exercises with your child, and it is also a great way to encourage multiple social interactions. Check out information by Eric Chesson at Autism Fitness. He has many useful resources, including videos and ebooks that you can use. Remember that gardening, such as raking or digging, and household chores, such as wiping, mopping, and sweeping, are all forms of exercise. Teach your child some of these chores using visuals, and you will be incorporating both physical activity as well as useful work into his routine. Having a dog as a pet also has the potential to create activity for your child. This includes things like playing games with your pet, example, tug of war and ball throwing and catching. It also includes possibly taking your dog for a walk. All of these activities need to be demonstrated and taught to your child until he is both competent and safe to do them by himself or to do them with some assistance. If your child has a meltdown or resists exercise, take a step back and consider the situation. Maybe the exercise or sport you have chosen is too challenging. Maybe it needs to be broken down into even smaller steps and taught one step at a time. Maybe your child should choose a different movement, or maybe you just need to be patient until your child becomes more comfortable with it. If your child is sufficiently verbal, you could also ask him what he likes before starting an exercise plan. Of course, exercise is not something that either you or your child can simply choose not to do. Teaching exercise, rather, is an essential in the same way that learning is essential, in the same way that good nutrition is essential. Exercise needs to form part of your child's daily life. However, it is important that when you teach your child to exercise, it has to be done with discretion, with patience, with thought and care. Over the years, my daughter Akila, who is autistic, has done various physical activities, and she has done them for long periods of time, sometimes years, and she has enjoyed everything that she has done. She did tap dancing in primary school, then yoga as a child and as a young adult. She's done Nia, which is a combination of elements of yoga, martial arts and Tai Chi with dance and yoga movements, and it is set to music. She has also done swimming. Currently, she enjoys walking, short hikes, and exercising to YouTube videos and fitness apps which focus on dance, yoga, and high-intensity aerobics. She understands that exercise is an essential part of her daily routine and its importance in maintaining good health. However, she does not really push herself to exercise for long periods of time, and so she has remained at a level of about 30 minutes daily. When she hikes, she is fit enough to walk for much longer periods of time. This year, we will be working on increasing the amount of time that she spends exercising to at least 45 minutes a day, and we will also try to incorporate some more strength training. In conclusion, I'd like to encourage you to begin this journey with your child without delay. Remember that physical and mental health is a priority and should be so for all children, including children with autism. If anything, exercise in combination with good nutrition should be at the very top of our lists. Children with autism take longer to become accustomed to a new activity and may resist it. It is important to persevere, to consider your child's interests, likes, and dislikes when formulating an exercise plan or teaching a sport, and to adjust your plan if something is not working. Remember to be patient and help your child to build a lifelong habit of exercise, and if you are not active, do the same for yourself. Good luck.